Hi there, welcome back to the Carmoola channel. I'm your glamorous host for today, Catherine, and we're going to be counting down the top 10 staycations in the UK that you've got to try out. So we've all had enough of the C word, right? COVID. So we don't want to talk about that anymore. We want to talk about going on our holidays. Holidays. I'm so ready for my holidays. Staycations are all the rage right now. People that live in the UK want to stay in the UK, so are using the staycation to feel like they're on holiday even whilst they're still in their same home county. So where are you heading first? A beautiful beach, sunny countryside, or perhaps rainy countryside? Come on. It's the UK, right? Or maybe you just want a bit of everything. That's okay too. At number 10, we have Wales. We couldn't really find one place in particular within Wales, so we're just gonna say the whole country. It's amazing. You can go and get the big city vibes in Cardiff, or one place we would recommend is Tenby. It's a seaside resort and it has these beautiful pastel coloured houses and buildings, and it makes for a really good Instagram photo. You're welcome. At number 9, it's the New Forest. Now, I have driven through this so many times. Sadly, not yet have I stayed there. This is not a place you want to just drive through. This is definitely a place you want to go and stay in. It has some of England's most beautiful green space, and it also has a lot of wild animals. They're a bit annoying if you're driving through the New Forest and you've somewhere to be, but if you're there on a staycation, you can just relax and soak up the awe-giving natural atmosphere. If you're tired of driving, you'll be pleased to know that there's over 140 miles of cycle trail in the New Forest, so that's enough to keep you busy for a little while. At number 8, it's London, baby! We couldn't leave London off the list. If you haven't been as a tourist before, it is definitely a place to be. Even if you've lived in London for years, but you've never taken at least a weekend as a tourist, go and book it right now. London has so many iconic landmarks. Buckingham Palace, the London Eye is a great way to see the city. Best way to see London, in my opinion, is to hire some Boris bikes. There's so many cycle lanes that you'll feel safe, and it's so much more exciting than just staring out the taxi window. Lots of places to go for really good food, to drink, to eat, to party. One place I'd recommend is definitely Mayfair. At number 7, it's Poole. Many people that find themselves in Dorset end up in Bournemouth. But if you're looking for something a bit more low-key, we would recommend Poole. Especially if you've never been before, there's something to see and do for everyone. Sandbanks Beach rivals some of the best sand in the whole of Europe. And there's loads of places to explore, cafes and little restaurants that are so inviting, and the people are really friendly too. So definitely put Poole on your list. At number 6, it's Yorkshire. And whether you're heading for Yorkshire Dales or somewhere different, there is so much culture, so many things to see and do, and plenty of country walk. If you're into your walking or hiking, or fancy just trying something completely new, Yorkshire is the place for you. We would recommend the Bradford Millennium Footpath. It's really cool and you can get loads of good pictures. Or the Great Northern Trail is a good one to try out too. There's also, of course, the city of York. You can head there, really good restaurants, really cultural, and some historical buildings too. And at number 5, it's Brighton. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Another seaside gem, Brighton is often referred to as the Beach of London because it's quite close to London, and if you hire a car or if you drive, you can drive there very easily. There is a reason why Brighton gets 11 million visitors every year. It has a hustling, bustling nightlife and pebbled beaches. Of course, it has the Brighton Pier, and I'll just take these off actually. You may also have visited Brighton before. If you've ever been on a hen party or a stag do, it is the place to go. Mwah. And coming in at number 4, we have Manchester. Not all staycations are visits to the countryside or beaches. Sometimes you just want to go on a good staycation to go shopping, to have a good night out with your mates, and Manchester is perfect for that. If you want to go and see all your favourite brands and shops in one place, Manchester is the place to go. Manchester is a city full of culture and it pretty much has everything you would want. If you want to go for a spa, there's some really good spas there. Or if you want to go and see some football with the boys, not exactly what I would want to do, you can go and see some of the best shops in the northern quarter. Then you can go out for some drinks after with the girls. Manchester pretty much has it all. Would recommend. At number 3, it's Cornwall. Who says that England can't do beach holiday? They can, and they do with Cornwall. I actually know some of the hottest beach bodies and the hottest surfer dudes in the world that come from Cornwall. You heard it here first. Go to Cornwall. All you gotta do is hop in your car from anywhere in the UK and drive to Cornwall. It has some of the best surfing, it has some of the best places to walk and see things, and a really good fish and chips. Along with those dreamy beaches and surfer dudes, Cornwall has plenty of great heritage sites, local bars, clubs, cafes and restaurants. Lots of things to see and do. You could go and see one of the local villages, St Ives and Pedstow. At number 2, it's Edinburgh. Now, if you haven't been to Edinburgh before, book your staycation immediately. It is an amazing place to go, especially if you go around the time when the Edinburgh Fringe Festival is on. So many things to see and do that are completely free of charge, and it's a great way to support local artists, local comedians. Honestly, Edinburgh Fringe Festival with my mates was one of the best experiences, I think, ever on a holiday, and it was a staycation here in the UK. If you're driving to Edinburgh from somewhere like London, for example, be prepared for a long car journey. And if you are planning to have that long car journey, we have plenty more videos on the Carmoola YouTube channel that will help you on that. But I'm telling you, that long car journey will be well worth it. Be sure to visit landmarks like Edinburgh Castle and the Scottish National Gallery. There's also a couple of museums there that are really cool and make for some really good Instagram photographs. And coming in at the number 1 spot, at number 1, it's the Cotswolds. Simply doesn't come much more picturesque than the Cotswolds. It is the place to be. You can maybe meet your favourite celebrity or your favourite movie star. Honestly, Cotswolds has it all. I know I'm saying that it's a celebrity hotspot, but it's actually Kate Moss and Hugh Grant's favourite place to holiday. Not Barbados, not Hong Kong, not Fiji, Cotswolds. Here in the UK. From quaint villages to stony cottages, it's like something out of The Holiday. Do you remember that film? That little cottage? That's like something you'd see in the Cotswolds. It has this gorgeous rolling countryside, so you can walk for miles, maybe stop off at a local pub, get some grub, meet the locals. Really, I do wish that I was going to the Cotswolds next week, but maybe soon. Everything about the Cotswolds catches the eye of the English and everybody across the world for that matter. If you're heading to the Cotswolds, we would recommend the Wild Rabbit Inn. Really good food, great service, and the locals are pretty nice too. Also, Dalesford Farm, fresh organic produce, and it has a really good hardware store if that's what you're into. So we've reached the top spot, the Cotswolds, but since you stayed this long, I will now give you the bonus, which is Norfolk. Norfolk just slowly slips onto our list because, well, it's known as the Champagne Coast. Sounds pretty good to me. Whilst the vast sandy beaches are definitely a pull when it comes to Norfolk, it also is surrounded by gorgeous forests and is well worth a look. I can just see myself now, driving through Norfolk in my Land Rover, sipping the champagne, in the passenger seat of course. As always, I hope you've loved this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. It was quite difficult to count down the top 10, but if where you live in the UK is not on the list and you think it should be, please do let us know in the comments section. We would love to hear from you. And if you have great recommendations for some of the places we've mentioned, in Manchester, in London for example, please comment as well. We would love to hear them and we'll try them out. I'll maybe put that on my work expenses trip. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the bell button, and I will see you next time. Mwah!